everyone. We are here for a Sunday reset. So if you're just clicking on this and have never been here before, feel free to fast forward to the 5 minute mark. That's 10, the 5 minute mark, because that's where I typically start to give people time to join the live. So, good morning. I'm Misha, aka Pieces of Meesh. Um, so it's a new week, and we about to get started in a couple. Let me see, do I have any announcements? um, any announcements? I don't think so. I was thinking about standing in today's practice. That's why the camera, I don't know if you can tell, but the camera angle is just a little higher because I was thinking about getting us up into a stand, but I think I want to stick with staying close to the ground, and we'll save standing for another day because I already said that this is going to be a gentle seated practice and on my Instagram and in the description here. So we'll save some standing movements for another day. But other than that, I hope everyone is doing well. And it really does help me though if y'all like leave comments just to say what you are seeking in a practice. You know what I mean? So say you want more upper body shoulder practices, let me know so I can bring that to you next week. This is really about creating a space for us to get together and I feel like holding ourselves accountable when it comes to implementing a practice. So I show up for myself every day on the mat, but how can I show up for other people to create a space for them to show up on their mat? Because yeah, you can do yoga at home if you're by yourself, but it's also nice to have that accountability as well, even if it's virtual. So, you know, that's why I do this. That's why I enjoy doing this. But yeah, other than that, not too much going on. It's Sunday, obviously, and I don't really have much to do today. I don't really think I'm going to do much today because I'm a little bit sleepy. I've been working a lot, and I'm not complaining, but I've been working a lot, and really just trying to find that balance of being extroverted. I'm trying to come out of hermit mode because it's springtime. I'm blonde. I can't sit in the house with the blonde. I gotta be outside sometimes. And I went outside Friday. I went to a reception, which was really nice. Got to dress up, be cute. So that was fun. And next weekend, I got a birthday outing. So, really just trying to be outside. So, yeah, that's what's going on with me. Let me think of anything else. My plants, my monstera, if I don't propagate it now, I don't think it's going to last. And I keep brushing it off. So, and I'm not even going to lie and say I'm going to do that today because I probably won't do it today. But eventually I'm going to propagate it. Well, probably not. I might just let it die. That sounds so terrible to say. I feel like such a bad plant parent for saying that. But that really might just be it. So we're down to the 1 minute warning before we get started today. So maybe we'll start in a seat. Let me think. Hello. Whoever just came in, good morning. Oh, they left. That's the thing I like about live. It's just like, people are in and out. If they want to stay, they can stay. If they want to leave, they can leave. But guess who will be here? Me. By myself or with other people. I'm going to still show up. Yeah, maybe we'll start in a seat today. Work down from our shoulders to our hips. And then we can go into some hands and knees. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. All right, but we are at 5 minutes. So, hello everyone. Good morning. My name is Misha, aka Pieces of Meesh, aka Yoga Meesh, and welcome to today's Sunday Reset. So, just a heads up before we get started, everything that I say is a suggestion. Please do what feels good in your body. You don't have to do anything that I'm suggesting. This is your practice, so give your body what it needs. And also, I would not recommend this practice for people who are expecting. There are a ton of prenatal yoga videos on YouTube that I would definitely suggest that you go ahead and look at. So, yeah, if you're ready to get started, we are going to I think we're going to find a seat. We're going to start in a seat today. So, a comfortable seat that could look like crisscross applesauce, that could look like legs out in front of you, whatever feels good in your body. And then we're going to just ground down into the space, into the moment, before we invite some gentle ease and movement into our practice, okay? So I invite you to close your eyes if that feels safe in your body. And if not, just find a soft gaze. But we're going to introduce some 4-part breaths, and I'll count those off for us, all right? So closing your eyes if that feels good. We're going to go ahead and inhale for 4. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. And let's do that again. We'll inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. And how about another time? So we'll inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. And at this time, I invite you to bring your breath back to your regular breathing cycle, inhaling through your nose and exhaling out of your nose or out of your mouth, whatever feels good in your body. Inhaling and exhaling. There you go. Good job. And we're just going to ground down into the space. So inhaling and exhaling according to your own breath. And as you're inhaling and exhaling, I invite you to bring your awareness to your forehead, the space between your eyebrows, and just noticing any sensations that might show up for you in that area, noticing any tension, and inhaling and exhaling as you bring your awareness to that space in your forehead. And if your eyes are open, maybe you close them. And maybe you notice if you can relax your eyebrows down. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Good job. And I invite you to bring your awareness down to your mouth, noticing if you're holding any tension in your lips, and if you can soften your face down your lips, noticing if your tongue is at the roof of your mouth, and if you can exhale and relax your tongue to sit at the base of your mouth. Inhaling and exhaling. Continuing to inhale and exhale. And you may notice your mind even wanders sometimes. And that's okay. But when your mind does wander, noticing if you can bring it back to your breath. Come back to noticing your breath, inhaling and exhaling. And we'll take an inhale and exhale and allow our awareness drop into our heart space. Inhaling and exhaling according to your own breath. And while your awareness is on your heart space, noticing any sensations that may come up for you in your heart. Noticing if you want to take this time to whisper kind words to yourself, words of affirmation or words of self-love. What does your heart need right now? Inhaling and exhaling. And I invite you to bring your awareness down to your belly. And maybe you put one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. And we'll invite some deep belly breaths into our practice. So on your inhale, you're feeling your stomach expand, your chest expand. And on your exhale, your stomach contracts like your belly button is trying to reach your spine. Big breaths. So inhaling, allowing your stomach to expand fully. And exhaling, letting your belly button touch your spine. And we'll continue that breath. Inhaling big. And exhaling, letting your belly button touch your spine. Now I invite you to bring your breathing back to your regular breathing. But while we're here with one hand on our stomach and one hand on our hearts, I invite you to set an intention for your practice today or for our time here together on the mat, or for your Sunday or for the week ahead. So connecting to your heart, connecting to your belly, taking this time to set your intentions. We know it's Sunday, and today's a Sunday reset. So how can we reset our heart, our body, and our nervous system to face today and the week ahead of us? So go ahead and set that intention now. Good job. If you feel like you're complete in setting your intention, I invite you to find a gentle sway, rocking your body from side to side, keeping your hips and butt planted on the ground and just rocking from your waist up. And you can keep one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, or you can bring your hands to your knees, whatever feels good for you right now. And as you rock, I invite you to sync your breath with your movements. So that might look like inhaling up to the center Exhaling to one side, inhaling back up to center, exhaling to the opposite side, inhaling to center and exhaling. So go ahead and continue that according to your own breath, syncing your breath with your movements. And then when you feel like you've found enough in that movement, let's go ahead and find stillness with our spine in a neutral position, sitting straight up. And if you are in crisscross applesauce, maybe you switch which leg you have out in front. Remembering to inhale and exhale. And on your inhale, I invite you to lift your arms up overhead. And exhale, letting your arms drop back down to your side. Let's go ahead and do that again. We'll inhale our arms up overhead. And exhale, letting our arms drop down to our side. And let's do that again. Inhale our arms up overhead. And when we bring them up overhead this time, we'll bring our hands together to touch, interlacing our fingers, keeping our pointer fingers pointing towards the sky. Taking an inhale, and on the exhale, we'll bend to the right side. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, leaning to our left. Inhaling up to center. And exhale, baby back bend, real baby. Inhaling back to center. And we'll exhale, bringing our hands, pointing them in front of us, okay? Good job. And when we get here, we'll inhale and exhale. And we're going to unclasp our fingers, bring our hands flat to touch each other. And we'll find a twisting movement in our practice. So you can watch me if you need to. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them. But with both of our hands facing forward, we're going to inhale and open up that right hand to come directly behind us, only twisting at our waist, okay? So we're going to keep our legs and our butt flat. And we're going to inhale, open up to the right side of our mat. And exhale, bring our hands back to touch in front of us. And now we'll do that on the opposite side. So opening up our left hand, inhaling. Exhaling, coming back to center. Inhaling, opening up on the right. Exhaling, back to center. So you can go ahead and do that according to your own breath, moving slowly and moving with your breath. So opening up on your inhale and closing, bringing your hands together on your exhale. And while you're doing this, also making sure you're mindful of the space between your ears and your shoulders. We don't want to hug our shoulders to the ears, but give us a nice long spine in our body. Knowing that you can stop anytime you want and come to a neutral position. I'm going to do one more on each side. And then when we meet in center, we're going to inhale our arms back up overhead and exhale, forward fold any amount, letting your head hang heavy in your fold. And you can come out of your fold anytime you want, or you can just hang out here for a little bit. Head heavy, hands planted on the mat, making sure you're breathing. Inhaling and exhaling while you're in your fold. And then when you're ready, you'll inhale and slowly walk your hands back up to meet your body. Good job. And when we're back in our upright position, let's take a moment to inhale our shoulders up and just roll them back around us so we find that long spine. Inhaling and exhaling. You know what? Let's do some more shoulder rolls. That kind of felt good, huh? I know if it felt good for me, it might have felt good for someone else. So let's go ahead and inhale our shoulders up, and we're going to exhale and drop them around behind us like we're trying to bring our shoulder blades to touch, to pinch one another. And then bring them down and rest in a neutral position. Inhaling our shoulders up to our ears and exhaling them down around, back down into neutral. So go ahead and continue those shoulder rolls according to your own breath. Inhaling up and exhaling down. And then when you feel like you've done enough in one direction, we'll go ahead and go in the opposite direction. So inhaling them up to our ears and exhaling, letting our shoulders drop down in front of us, back into a neutral position. Inhaling our shoulders up and exhaling, letting them drop down in front of us. So you can go ahead and continue that according to your own breath. And then knowing that you can stop whenever you feel ready, you can come back into a neutral position. And we'll do one more. Inhaling up and exhaling them back down in a neutral position. Good job. And from there, we want to inhale our arms up overhead again, bringing them to touch. And we're going to do that. Interlace our fingers with our fingertips pointing towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, bending to the right. Inhale up, bending to the left. Inhaling back to center, baby back bend. Inhaling up. And this time, when we drop our hands, we're going to drop our hands into a twist. So dropping our hands, letting our left hand meet our right knee, and our right hand come behind us in a twist. And we're going to look over our back shoulder. When I'm feeling like I want to invite some movement into this twist, okay? So we're going to inhale our arms back up to the sky, bring our hands to clasp together, and we're going to exhale, find that twist on the opposite side. So we're just going to keep doing that twisting motion. So inhaling to center, letting our hands clasp in the sky, and exhale, finding that twist in our body. Inhaling to center, you got it, and finding that twist. And this time when we find the twist on whatever side you're on, we're going to go ahead and hold it now. So letting your hand come behind you, it could be beside you, however you're feeling in your twist today is where you'll put your hand. Letting your left hand rest on your knee. Inhaling, and on the exhale, folding, not folding, but leaning into your twist or twisting into your twist. With your head over your back shoulder, looking towards the back of your mat or the back of your body. And remembering to inhale and exhale. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose or your mouth. We're going to inhale, and on the exhale, moving only your head, we're going to look over your front shoulder. Remembering to breathe. We will inhale, and only moving our head, we'll exhale to take our head to look back over that back shoulder. We'll take another breath here, inhaling and exhaling. And then we'll inhale up out of that twist, bring our hands to touch at the top. And then we'll exhale and we'll find that twist and hold on our opposite side. So whatever side you just did, do the opposite. Inhale and exhale into your twist. Looking over your back shoulder. Inhaling and exhaling. And while you're here, noticing where you don't need to hold any tension in your body. Can you soften your fingers? Can you soften your toes? Can you soften your shoulders down? Inhaling and exhaling. And we'll take an inhale. And on the exhale, only moving our head, we'll turn our head to look over our front shoulder. Inhaling and exhaling. We'll take an inhale. And on the exhale, only moving our head to look back over that back shoulder. Inhaling and exhaling. And on your next inhale, we'll inhale our arms back up overhead, coming out of our twist. And exhale, forward fold any amount, letting your head hang heavy in your fold. And you might even find a little sway in your fold with your head hanging heavy. Swaying from side to side, but remembering to sync each breath with the movement. So that might look like inhaling to center, exhaling to one side, inhaling to center, and exhaling to the opposite side. So finding that sway in your fold, but knowing that you can come out of your fold into a neutral position, into your seat whenever you feel like it. And then when you're ready, we'll find stillness and inhaling. And walk your hands back up to meet your body. Good job. All right, let me see what time it is. I can't. All right, so I think we'll make our way to our backs and we'll do some things on our backs before we go into a resting pose. So safely and slowly transitioning onto our backs. And then we'll keep our feet planted on the ground, knees bent. And from here, you're going to take your right leg, your right foot. Inhale your right knee to your chest. And on the exhale, you're going to let your right calf come and lay across the back of your left knee. And you can stay right here. Inhaling and exhaling. And if it feels safe in your body, you can find a gentle sway. So exhaling, letting your legs drop to one side. Inhaling to center. Exhaling, dropping to the opposite side. Inhaling to center. Syncing your breath with your movement. And then when you're ready, we'll find stillness. And then from here, you can take your hands and clasp them around your left thigh, bringing your left thigh in closer to your body, holding your left thigh with your hands interlaced behind them, keeping your foot flexed towards your body. Inhaling and exhaling. And if you want more, you can inhale that left leg up to the sky. And we'll take an inhale. And we'll exhale that left foot back down to the ground. Release our hands from behind. Dropping our right foot back down to the ground. Keeping our knees bent, feet flat, we'll find a gentle sway in both of our knees from side to side. So inhaling to center and exhaling to one side. Inhaling to center and exhaling opposite. Finding that movement according to your own breath, but moving slow and moving with intention. And when you're ready, we'll find stillness with both of our feet planted on the ground, knees bent. And we'll do that same thing we did on the opposite side. So inhaling up your left leg and exhaling it, allowing it to come across your right thigh and rest there. We'll take an inhale and an exhale. And I invite you to find a gentle sway from side to side. Exhaling, letting your legs drop to one side. Inhaling to center And exhaling, letting your legs drop to the opposite. Inhaling to center and doing that according to your own breath. Syncing each breath with a movement. And when you're ready, we'll find stillness. And from here, I invite you, if you would like, to take your hands and interlace them around your right thigh, bringing your right foot off the ground, letting your toes be flexed towards your body, your right toes. And you can hold this here, remembering to breathe, inhaling and exhaling. And if you would like, you can inhale that right foot up to the sky. Toes flexed towards your body, inhaling and exhaling. And remembering to breathe all the way down into your belly. And we'll take an inhale. And if your foot is in the sky, we'll exhale it back down to the ground, releasing your hands from behind your thigh. Inhaling and exhaling your left foot back down to the ground. And we'll find that gentle sway in our knees from side to side. Exhaling your knees down to one side, inhaling back to center. Exhaling to opposite, inhaling to center. And then before we find our final resting pose, I invite you to find a twist, a full body twist. So to do that, what I like to do is coming into stillness with my feet planted on the ground. I like to bring my feet and legs together and scoop my hips in the opposite direction of that I'm going to let my knees fall. So if I'm going to let my knees fall to the right, I like to scoop my hips over to the left side of my mat. And on the exhale, drop my knees down to the right side of my mat, stacking my legs and feet on top of one another. Finding a twist on one side. And if you want a full body twist, you can go ahead and look in the opposite direction of your knees. But remembering to breathe as we hold this twist, inhaling through your nose and exhaling out of your nose and your mouth. And noticing where you're holding any tension, if you are, and seeing with every exhale if you can soften in those spaces. So with your inhale, you're breathing into those spaces where you feel tense. And on the exhale, you're allowing yourself to let go and soften into that space. Now, if you're in a full body twist, I invite you to bring your head back to neutral, looking up towards the sky. Inhaling your knees back up to center with your feet flat on the ground, and then finding that sway. One more time before we find a twist on the opposite side. So inhaling your knees to center, exhaling, letting them drop to one side, inhaling to center, exhaling, letting them drop to the opposite side. And then when you're ready, we can find that full body twist on the opposite side. So however you need to get there, go ahead and get there. Do whatever feels good, safe in your body, and finding that twist on your opposite side. And if you want a full body twist, turning your head in the opposite direction of your knees. Remembering to breathe, always breathing. And if your head is in the opposite direction, I invite you to bring your head back up to a neutral position. Eyes facing the ceiling or up above you. Inhale your knees back to center, feet flat on the ground. And we'll find that gentle sway from side to side again. Inhaling to center and exhaling to opposite. Inhaling to center and exhaling the opposite. And then we'll get ready to go into our final resting pose. But before we go into our final resting pose, I want to invite you to give your body any last movements it might be seeking. So that might look like hugging your knees to your chest. And if you are hugging your knees to your chest, maybe you give yourself some space. So that might look like opening up your knees a little wide, just in case you have to give your belly some space. Or that may even look like happy baby. So you can grab the outside of your foot, come into a happy baby. You can rock in your happy baby. You can smile in your happy baby. Giving your body any final movements it needs before we go into our final resting pose. And if you are in your happy baby, I invite you to release your feet down when you're ready. And go into your final resting pose. So that might look like laying flat on the ground for you. Take up space. Or that could look like keeping your knees bent and letting your knees fall together. So letting your feet be like on the outsides of your mat and let your knees fall in together. So whatever feels good for you in this final resting pose. But we're going to take about, let's see what time it is. We're going to take 3 minutes. Yeah, we'll take 3 minutes in our final resting pose and then we'll wrap up. So I'm going to stop talking now so you all can go into your final resting pose. And then I'll introduce my voice back into the space when it's time to move on. noticing the sound of my voice. I invite you to wiggle your fingers, wiggling your toes, bringing your awareness back into the space. Maybe you roll your wrist out in one direction and roll them out in another direction. And maybe you do the same thing with your ankles, rolling them out one direction and then the opposite direction. And from our final resting pose, we're going to find our way to a seat slowly. So I invite you to place your right foot on the mat, bending your right knee. We're going to inhale our right arm up overhead. And we're going to exhale and roll over to the right side of our body, finding a fetal position before we push up into a seat. So inhaling and exhaling. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly, using your left hand, push yourself up into a seat, letting your head hang heavy, letting your head be the last thing to come up. And when you find your seat, that could be crisscross applesauce or legs out in front of you. And taking a pause, let's inhale our arms up overhead. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Thank you all for practicing with me today. Thank you for showing up for yourself. And I hope you all have an amazing Sunday and week ahead. Namaste. So thank you all for joining me. Please like the video because that's how it gets circulated around the platform. So please like the video, please comment, share it with your friends, and remember this practice is timeless, so you can come back to it anytime you want. But thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I'll catch you all probably next week. So like the video. All right, bye.